And now, this is Sergei's review of the Chase Sapphire Preferred Credit Card. There was once a time when your word was your bond. If you didn't have the money to pay for something, you could negotiate with the owner of a store for an extension of credit. Their way of vetting you, or making sure you weren't a deadbeat, was to know you. They would know where you lived, where you worked, and even what kind of work ethic you had. Merchants would use this information to determine if they could risk extending you a line of credit. Basically, this was an old-school way of finding out if you could pay your bills or if they were going to have to track you down and hand you the bill nicely. Wink, wink. Okay. While there may have been variations of the credit card over the years, such as the Diners Club card, it was a private bank in Brooklyn, New York, created the first credit card. It was called Charge It. This card was available to people who banked at the Biggins Bank. This is not to be confused with Jason Biggins from the American Pie movies that I love so much. So back to the story. The Biggins Bank made arrangements with the local merchants to be billed directly when their customers used their charge card, and their accounts would be debited the amount of the charge if they didn't pay the bill. Today, however, there are quite a variety of cards to choose from, and banking has changed quite a bit. There are credit cards for people with almost any kind of credit score, even with the slow economy. Hey, what did I tell you guys? Stop putting slow economy, just put crappy instead. So, anyway, even if you do have terrible credit, there are some options out there that will help you build your credit score back up. There are, however, excuse me, too many fish in vodka. There are, however, some credit cards that are strictly for those who have excellent credit, like Sergei. This is the group of people that qualify for the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card, which is the card we're going to talk about right now. As the name suggests, the Sapphire Preferred Card is offered by Chase Bank. Chase Bank is part of the J.P. Morgan Company, which is one of the oldest lending institutions in the U.S. Chase offers banking, private banking, which is for fancy pants clients like Mitt Romney, lending services, and of course, credit cards to the customers. You don't have a Chase Bank account or be a customer in order to qualify for a Chase credit card. The Chase Sapphire Preferred Card is a Visa card. You can use this card anywhere in the world where Visa is accepted. You've seen the commercials. It can also be used at ATMs for cash back. Just remember that there are a number of fees involved with this, which we'll discuss later. This card relies heavily on its rewards program to attract customers. When you use the card at restaurants or for travel, you will receive 2 points. 2 points, let me repeat, 2 points for every dollar you spend on your purchase. For any other kind of purchase, you will receive 1 point for each dollar that you spend. So, restaurants or travel, 2 points. Anything else, 1 point. What's particularly nice about the rewards program is that there is no limit to how many points that you earn. Another thing that sets this apart is that the rewards program is different from other credit card programs in that the points never expire. Most credit card companies put a 5-year limit for the use of your points. If you don't use them in that time span, you lose them. You know the saying, you snooze, you lose? Not here. Not so with the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. You have no time limit. Chase also offers an unlimited rewards program. This program allows you to spend your points on virtually anything you can imagine, from TVs to hotel stays, anything in between. Fish heads, vodka, you know. When you use your points to book your travel through Ultimate Rewards website, you will receive 20% off your out-of-pocket costs for your travel as well. This is providing that you use the Sapphire Preferred Credit Card to pay for your travel expenses, which is actually a requirement if you book through the Ultimate Rewards website. Another part of the parts program is the bonus points that you receive to spend if you spend $3,000 within the first 3 months after you purchase your credit card. Activated your credit card. Once you've spent $3,000, you'll receive additional 40,000 bonus points. So once you spend $3,000, you receive 40,000 bonus. According to Chase, this is the equivalent of $500, which can be used towards a travel purchase. When you use to book travel, you'll be pleased to learn that there are no blackout dates for your travel. This applies to airfare as well as hotel accommodations. There are, however, some limitations when it comes to who you can book with. For example, the airlines through which you can book are currently restricted to Southwest, Continental, United, and British Airways. The only hotel on their entire list is Marriott, but in my opinion, that's not such a big thing. They usually have very nice swimming pools as well. If you book your travel through the Ultimate Rewards site, you will also earn an additional bonus point for every dollar you spend. That means instead of 2 points per dollar, you will earn 3 points for each dollar that you spend. So now, if you're following with me here, you use travel, you get 2 points. But you book it through the Ultimate Rewards website, you get additional point. Pay attention. The last part of the rewards program is what is called the points dividend program. Basically, your points grow 7% each year, even if it's the points you've already redeemed. What this means, if you earn 10,000 points at the end of the year, you will claim additional 700 points. That's crazy. I don't understand why they do that, but it's awesome that they do. The Chase Sapphire Preferred Card isn't without its cost, however. To begin, there's an annual fee. It's a little on the high side at $95 a year, although at the time of this review, the fee is waived. It's being waived by Chase for the first year. You need to make sure that you check to see if they're still waiving the fee, because we're not updating this recording every 2 weeks. But it sounds like it's going to be waived for at least the first year for a while. The APR for the Chase Sapphire is 15.24%. There's a variable APR based on the prime rate. For those of you who don't know what prime rate is, this is the base rate that is recommended for any loans as suggested by the Federal Reserve. The current prime rate is 3.25%, and that hasn't really changed in the past couple of years. Most banks charge an interest rate of prime plus their own rate. So in this example, they'd say the 3.25% that the Fed says, plus whatever they want to tack onto it. If the prime rate changes up or down, their interest rates vary with those changes. If you're interested in seeing the prime rate, you can visit the Wall Street Journal website. It's posted all over there. The prime rate is a suggested number, and no lender is required to use it when lending. So these numbers can vary, but you need to be a smart consumer and not be a walrus head, which I don't like walrus. Don't be like a walrus and not keep up with things. Pay attention, you'll save money. There is also a penalty for APR. So your APR can go up if you miss a single payment. Very, very important. Do not miss a payment with the Chase card, because the APR is 29.9% and applies from the point of the missed payment moving forward. This is the biggest downside of this card, as the penalty rate applies the moment you have missed not only the date when the payment is due, but the time that it's due as well. Often this means that the end of business day rather than before the end of the actual day. In other words, 5 p.m. versus midnight. So long story short, don't be late with your payment. Get it in on time. You'll be fine. As with most credit cards, if you're late on the payment, you'll have to pay the penalty fee. These fees range from $15 to $35 for a late payment fee and $35 for a return payment. In other words, you bounce the check. The reason that there are variances on the late payment fees is that the credit card laws require banks to base their fees on the credit card balance. If you have a balance less than $100, for example, then your fee will be $15. If your balance is over $250, it will be $35. Look at that. Laws to protect you. Okay, so one fee that you won't see is a foreign transaction fee. That makes this card an excellent choice for those of you who like to travel abroad like Sergei. Other perks for the Chase Sapphire Preferred Credit Card. Well, there are a number of perks that you don't want to overlook if you're considering this card. Many of these benefits are great for travelers, again, making this a good choice for people who spend a lot of time traveling. When you use this card for your travel purchase, you will be automatically covered for trip cancellation insurance, travel accident insurance, travel emergency services, lost luggage reimbursement, trip delay coverage, baggage delay coverage. If you use your card to rent a car, you'll be provided with roadside assistance and auto rental collision coverage. That in itself is a big thing for Sergei, not the greatest driver. You will also find that there is a price protection for products that you purchase with the Chase Sapphire Preferred Credit Card. If you find a cheaper price for an item that you purchase within 90 days of your purchase date, you'll receive a credit to your credit card for the difference. It's important that you read or guide the benefits before you depend on this card for all your travel coverage. There are usually a lot of restrictions and fine print, and in many cases you'll have to pay for something out of pocket and then request reimbursement, which can take time. But again, the more reading, the more diligent you are, the more money you're going to save. Overall, this credit card has a lot of great features. If, however, you don't travel, you don't eat out a lot, and you don't have a credit score of 740 or higher, then this card is not good for you. Don't bother applying. In addition, if you have any other cards with Chase, according to the terms and conditions of the credit card, you will not qualify for the bonus points. That's very important. This offer is only for brand new account holders who don't currently have or never have had in the past an account with Chase. So overall, this is a good card for travelers, diners, international travelers especially. So hope you enjoyed this review of the Chase Sapphire Preferred Credit Card, and have a great day. До свидания.